Welcome back, everybody, to Bloodbath Tactics. It is your boy, Ben, back again in the hot seat. And today we have a very, very special show. We have a great guest. But first, to my right, we have Mr. Fraser.
Hello. Good to be back. I'm sorry I've been skipping for like a month. I just hate podcasts, I guess.
Fraser was away with personal issues, and it's good to have him back.
Yeah, I have a lot of issues, but I have less issues today, so I'm here.
Over on the couch, we've got Mr. David.
Hello. I'm David.
Hello, David.
David requires no introduction. The legend himself. And returning guest, we have Mr. Adam Green.
I'm back. Thanks for inviting me again.
Of course. You are always welcome
Really
on the show.
excited to be here. All the Votann fans are there in the comments waiting.
Well, we were talking about this before we started filming, that your Votann episode is one of our best performing episodes, like, since the new studio. I think it is the best in the new studio. Dude. So the fans love you. You've got good insight, and I think he knows what he's talking about most of the time.
Which is weird, because normally when we only have three guys, it's like, would this episode just be worse if we invited Adam as well, or is it just better with three?
Infinitely better. All the people are just clamoring for more Short Kings content.
Yeah. Okay.
I love it. Fantastic. So today, you guys, we have a very special episode. We are going to be talking the World Team Championships, the WTC. For those who don't know, this is essentially the Olympics of Warhammer, effectively.
For teams.
It is a team event, correct? And it is going down in, not this weekend, next weekend, I think we looked
Next
it up.
weekend, yeah, the 5th to the 10th, we said, and it's in Austria.
That's right. Hosted in Austria. Is it Austria
Austria.
every year? It was last year.
No, it was Belgium last year.
It was Belgium.
Yeah, Luxembourg.
That's right.
So it just moved this year. This is their first year, and it should be interesting. I'm really excited to see what the hall looks like.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. And for those who may not be aware, Mr. Adam Green is a member of Team Canada.
Yeah.
He brought along something cool to show everybody.
We even got sick
Show it.
jerseys.
That's your camera right over there.
Come
That one over
on
there.
now.
Look at that.
So what's so great about WTC is it offers, it really brings the whole country together, right? So it's kind of cool to cheer on fellow Canadians. Like we're local Canadians, so it makes sense to root for Canada.
100%.
But from wherever you're watching from, it totally makes sense to just get involved in any capacity with your team. Like Team Canada does fundraisers all across Canada for helping get those guys over there. Obviously, it's really expensive for us to fly from North America over to Europe, where all the European guys can just hop on a train and they're right there. So,
yes, right.
if anyone's interested in WTC, it's just try and find anyone who's involved in your country's team and.
When does the application generally start?
So for Team Canada, they usually do it every fall, and then you go through a tryouts process all the way up into kind of the new year. And then the springtime is when the team really gets into the nitty-gritty of getting the team ready for a selection and like hammering down who's playing what faction. So
cool. You gonna try out next year?
Undecided. We'll see.
A lot of TTS.
And I think this is a lot of TTS, especially for a country as big as
Of
Canada, with guys spread out.
We like it big up here. We like them big. Sorry. Continue.
And this is the biggest WTC yet. 42 countries are sending teams.
Oh, there's a bunch of new ones, right? Like
There's a bunch of new
United Nations is a new team.
Yeah. Well, they always kind of had one.
Did they? Okay.
But I think there's only one this year. Last year there was 2 United Nations.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
There's a few new ones out there.
A lot
Cyprus is one.
A lot of East Asian countries.
Yeah, East Asian companies.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Like Thailand has one now?
Thailand.
Yeah.
You got
Right.
China, Hong Kong. That's a grudge match.
That's
right
cool.
there.
Hong Kong versus China?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be sick, right?
That'd be fly on the wall for that game.
yeah, that'd be cool. Okay, sweet. And actually, real quick shout out to Team Canada specifically. There is a Team Canada Discord.
Yeah.
Me and Cass. I think Fraser even kind of hangs out there somewhere. No. Kate Fraser is a bum.
No.
But
What?
I think it's for $5 or $10 a month.
Yes.
You can subscribe to the Patreon, which then gives you access to the Discord, and your money basically goes to help keep the lights on with the team, help pay for stuff like jerseys and dice mats, etc., whatever. And it's also just a great resource for access to all of Canada's best players. And the same thing for other countries. I'm sure they all have their same Discords that allow like a section of it to be public access.
Yeah.
Just awesome.
Yeah, $5 a month. Get on Patreon, support Team Canada, and have access to like some of the best players in the country. And as a somewhat competitive, not that level player, but a competitive player, when I have questions, that's like one of the first places I go. These are the guys to ask.
Yeah.
And yeah, having access to that Discord is pretty cool. So we will put a link down in the description to the Patreon, or a link to the Patreon, or something of that
makes
nature.
sense. Yeah.
And that way you guys, if you want to sign up, you can give a little support to the boys as well. The boys in red.
Yeah.
Sick. So Team Canada's going. For those who may not be as familiar with team events in general, why don't you tell us, Adam, what is WTC, and what is the team event at its core, I guess?
So WTC is essentially an organization that runs this one tournament each year, and they use their own terrain format. Mm-hmm. So, and I know a lot of other team tournaments, probably globally, adopt that terrain format. Right. As far as like other formats go, is like the actual just pairing process is pretty substandard. You know, each team brings 8 players, and each team can only bring one of each faction.
Each book, yeah, right.
So was there 22, 21 factions now? Something like that.
But plus all the Space Marine ones, but yeah.
Plus all they count.
Oh, that's true.
Space Marines.
Yeah, it's just one instance of Space Marines, right? So yeah, it's effectively one, right?
Yeah. So, the WTC like terrain format is definitely, in some ways, a lot more dense, but also, if you're used to playing GW layouts, it actually makes you stand out in the open to hold objectives a bit more. Like, you really have to commit stuff, and Fraser can speak to it, that like your state, like for melee armies, because he plays melee armies, there's a lot more further back staging lanes, and you really have to be aware of certain angles that exist. It almost feels like sometimes terrain pieces are the wrong way around.
Yeah.
If that's the
so
best way.
you're not as safe.
Yeah, you're not as safe.
They're denser physically, but they're not as safe. Is that the kind of the general idea?
Yeah, it's kind of like there's more angles that exist, but then there's also some angles that never exist.
It's
Right,
a variety, because there's different types of boards. So traditionally, like when you're pairing, you also have to take into account like heavy, medium, and light boards. And Adam and I went to a singles event in Winnipeg where they used like WTC terrain, and I went with the impression that there was just going to be more cover in general.
Right.
But I was in a lot of situations with my world leaders where I was having to stage like almost halfway back into my deployment zone just to not lose a unit for no reason, because there was no like safe like staging part. So it's a little weird to have it like WTC terrain at like a singles event.
Yeah,
but it's definitely cool to have like the extra element of kind of like density of terrain when considering like pairings and matchups.
There's also a lot more opportunities to benefit from plunging fire, maybe.
Yeah, there's
So they actually have top
based on
levels.
the light, heavy, medium tables.
Right.
It actually determines how many of each piece of terrain there is. So there's kind of only like 3 pieces of terrain when it comes to WTC. There's crates, there's the 2-story like little small ruins, and then there's a 3-story big windows blocked windowless ruins, and that one has 3rd stories. So let's say, for example, there's a meta where Eldar are really popular, and you want Desolation Marines. You throw them up there, they get their plunging fire.
Right.
It also makes interesting kind of unchargeable situations, or harder to charge situations that you can
when you're actually
make
up on
use
the
of.
upper floors.
WTC has specific like charging rules as well, where you can't do like the 1.1 from terrain like you can in GW.
Yeah, so that's another big thing with WTC is they have a pretty extensive like FAQ of their own, almost kind of separate of GW. So sometimes you might have an understanding of a rule and the way it works in your GW playing ways, where WTC might treat it different. So
that's true. Hey, over time they've kind of developed over the course
Their
of
own
10th
thing.
edition, almost their own like little like
oh yeah,
supplement to the rules, effectively, right?
it's long.
Yeah, over time it just gets more and more. Like the charging through walls is a good example. Like now that GW has codified, like this is a thing you can do, right? You can stand an inch off the wall and not get charged. WTC was like, well, we don't like that rule. we're gonna change it.
Yeah,
which I don't see a lot of other tournaments adopting the rule because it is a little bit convoluted, but I understand the desire to make it better because it is kind of a feels bad rule sometimes.
Yeah, it's almost necessary with how much terrain there is in WTC.
Right, sure,
You could really abuse it in some cases.
So I think what WTC is also great for is even if you aren't like if you're listening and you're not a teams format player, I think just a lot of tech and general meta approaches are like come out from WTC, so you can see how players approach a meta and how they solve it, and it's a great kind of tool to learn from.
100%, yeah.
So we can kind of jump into it, right? Like this year, the list cutoff and rules cutoff was a few weeks ago, so there's a couple small minor like differences in the rules that you're playing right now if you weren't going to WC. There was that last little batch of facts that came out. What was that? 2 weeks ago? A week ago?
Yeah, I'm trying to think what was.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 weeks.
They
ago.
changed. They changed some Space Wolf stuff, and there was
That's what it
some Thousand Suns.
Overwatch,
Yeah,
Really, they just nerfed the crap.
they nerfed World Eaters. Thank
Thank
God.
Detachment.
Oh, right, with the not being the closest eligible anymore, that kind of stuff. Right.
Well, they dug into that bloodletter strat for the
they did too.
Demon's
Yeah,
Detachment.
that's right.
I was like, I'm considering Demon because I think it's like maybe as competitive, and now it's like I'm never considering the Demon's Detachment ever
It's
in my
still
life.
really good.
So if
Still
in like
It's that strat getting nerfed
It's still nuts.
changes a lot, but
so in video game terms, WTC's on like one little patch above
one patch
us,
behind. Yeah.
us. Yeah. So
Okay, cool. Yeah, and we definitely want to get into some lists. We've all picked out 2 of our favorite lists from 2 of our favorite factions, and we're going to break them down for you guys. Will be a combination of like what is extremely meta, what is kind of like maybe an off meta trying to prey on the meta, and some weird stuff because Dave likes his weird stuff.
what's he into?
No double Lord of Skulls,
David likes some
unfortunately,
weird shit.
Double order skulls. No double order skulls this time around. Sweet. I think that's like people who aren't familiar with teams. That's kind of a good breakdown of like what the WTC is. There is a whole like pairings process. So like Adam said, you go in with an 8-man team, and then before you even play any game for a round, you have a pairings process where like a defender goes up, and then you put 2 attackers. We won't get too much into the weeds on that.
There,
but
we have another episode on Bloodbath Tactics about
team
team
events.
format.
We sure do.
that
We sure
you
do.
can
So
check
definitely,
out at this link above.
I think we have the
giving more work to video.
Yeah,
Check out the short
Cass gotta
other
work.
sub video we made.
It's Cass. Cass is the one who has to edit this. So if we can do embedded links, Cass, over Adam's head. Adam, right there.
right there
There you go. If not, then he looks like a fool.
for
But
your
the-
viewing
And
pleasure.
here's a picture of Cass's dog.
The reason I bring it up though is because oftentimes when you hear people talking about lists, especially for a team's event, you'll say that you'll hear them say that this is a good teams list, right? Not necessarily a good all-comers singles list. It's a good teams list. Adam, why can a list be a good teams list and not just a good general list? What makes the difference?
Oh, good question.
Do you want me to help answer
Got it.
while you're...
Fraser?
Yeah, want
Fraser, get in
So,
there.
so basically, like the difference between a teams and a singles list is singles is kind of like you're going in and you're trying to make yourself as good as possible into kind of everything you could go into. But a good teams list is like, for example, if you're going into a team tournament right now, and I said, okay, David, you can make a list, but what if you never have to play Death Guard, Chaos Knights, and Imperial Knights?
Right.
And that way you can make a list where you don't need to sacrifice some of the moving parts of the list that make you generally better into everything else, just to tech for the Imperial Knights, the Chaos Knights, like that kind of stuff, because especially in 8-man teams, you can protect matchups. So we can stop people whose armies or factions aren't necessarily good into, like, let's say Knights. In a singles tournament, you'd have to sacrifice some of like the better units in that faction to bring tech to deal with that stuff. So it's not an auto loss. But in teams, you can really lean into the strength of like the faction into like the stuff that it's good into. Let's say like literally everything else except for like big stuff. Like that's appropriate because your captain can keep you away from like those kind of matchups.
There's roles, right? Like there you have a genuine like attacker lists where you're using these to be teed up into stuff they're good into to just go get big scores, and then you have stuff like defenders that kind of defend and blunters that are meant to take those big scoring armies and just keep them
Force a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. Because there's a pairing process, you don't have to be as diversified to take all comers as a singles list. In a singles tournament, you get paired into whoever you get paired into. That's it. In a teams event, you have some choices to be made of who you're going to be played into, so you can kind of like make your list with that in mind. So that's perfect. Yeah.
But I advise that if you're going into a team tournament, you sit down and you do the math on pairings, because normally if it's a 4 or 6 man, it's actually pretty hard to hide certain matchups, and most of the time you're better off just taking like singles lists.
A good list.
Yeah.
Eight man's like 8-person teams is much more dependent and like it's much more integral to that building process.
Yeah.
I like it. That makes perfect sense. We will get into lists. Before we do, I do want to give a quick shout out to a couple of our sponsors, of course. We've got Baron of Dice. All of these links will be down in the description. There are...
And also right here on this moving bar across the top of the screen.
Yeah, Cast, if you can do a ticker right above us right here, real quick. We will definitely put the links in the description, but we want to shout out to Baron of Dice, of course. I believe the code is BloodDice5, but it will be down in the description. We also want to give a shout out to Fenris Workshop, who I think by the time this airs, our giveaway will be done at this point. But if for some reason it's not, check out our Instagram. That'll be linked below as well. And Tree of Tales, who is doing their amazing battle boxes. Link in the description. If you guys show them some love, they show us some love, and we can keep this whole game rolling.
And we love watching love.
And we love love. We love watching it too. Thanks, Fraser. Over to David. David,
Actually, really quick, I guess we can kind of
Sorry, go
do
ahead.
a general faction breakdown real quick. So there's only
sure.
42 countries coming. So a faction can only appear 42 times
Correct.
at max.
That's the math. Yeah.
So at the top end, why don't we list off like the top 5? We've got
Sure.
Death Guard at number 1
Of course.
No
with
surprise.
40 appearances.
Oh, so
Only
two teams did
Two
not
teams
take.
did not bring it.
So-
And I believe
so
they
pretty
were tier 4. So countries also broken down by tiers. Tier 1 is best. Tier 4,
Sure.
they're
Least
new
least best.
or
They're
working on it.
Or they could be brand new. That's true. Yeah.
Then we have Chaos Knights and Imperial Knights at 29 and 28 respectively.
Okay, that's
so-
actually not as much as I thought.
So that shows that there's quite a bit of either 2s or 1s, but not many 0s.
Right.
There was
yeah.
Space Marines in between Death Guard and...
It depends how you break it down. The one I'm looking at.
So,
here
okay.
is- Yeah. Obviously, yeah, Astartes probably shows
Yeah,
up
yeah,
quite a
yeah,
bit,
yeah, yeah.
but then depending on your
What
sub-faction.
version?
Yeah. 1,000 Suns at also 28 and Necrons at 24. I think Necrons are just always good.
They've
so
always been good.
Very
Yeah.
good in teams.
safe. Yeah, really safe in
Stat
teams.
check
Yeah, you can do. Well, you can do stat check. Yeah,
of many different
of a
varieties.
couple different ones. Yeah,
and
for
I
sure.
think the 1,000 Suns are there where you can learn about them on last week's episode.
That's right here.
Right above.
It should be noted. I think we're only allowed a certain number of embedded links,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
we might be past
Last week's
I also
episode's
don't even know
actually
if we
playing
can do it.
live right above me at the moment.
For all the Zoomers out there who can't pay attention, there's another episode embedded in there.
I think the 1,000 Suns there are just
What's that, Subway
absolute nuke damage. Just like this
Yeah.
game's done in 2 turns.
Sure.
Yeah, if
Give
you
me
put
my
a knight
20.
in the middle,
Yeah,
Yeah.
game's
super
over.
gun. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you put 2 knights in the middle, it might
So-
be super gun still.
Yep.
Sweet. Okay, so good, amazing breakdowns. We've got Death Guard, both flavors of knights, 1,000 Suns, Necrons, and Space Marines. Basically, it's like your almost everybody bought them all the time. Kind
and
of
then
thing.
I think anything kind of after that is, you're probably looking at teams who have someone who's really good with that faction and
Yeah.
can make something happen.
Faction specialists.
Or they have a certain plan with maybe a pairing process where they have 2 armies set up to do something.
Yeah.
And go for those big wins.
Cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, you all ready over there?
I
We just
sure
talked about
am.
the top of the meta right now, and Dave's going to bring us
We're
the top of the
going
meta.
right back to the bottom of the meta.
Yo.
So we're gonna start with a Grey Knights list from a young man named Duke from Thailand, and I believe Thailand is 2nd seed right now.
Cool.
Could be
I
mistaken.
thought they were new, but yeah, fair
Yeah,
enough.
they might be lower, but he is bringing a really unique team's Grey Knight list. I'll just list it off from the top. 1 character, Castle and Crow, followed by 2 strike squads, followed by 2 Razorbacks, followed by 3 Rhinos, followed by a 5-man interceptor squad, 2 10-man interceptor squads, 2 5-man purifier squads, and a 10-man purifier squad, followed by 3 servitor squads. So you will never see this list in singles ever.
And this is in
I'm actually going to bring
Warpbane,
it
I would imagine.
to the next singles event just to prove you wrong.
That would be really funny.
I'd
You
say-
will go 1 and 4.
The thing that jumps out to me is
Mm.
so very few characters and no baby carriages.
Yeah, literally no Dread Knights.
This list is an abundance of bolters, an abundance of 622 in melee. So you're gonna have Rhino staging, and then out come 10-man interceptors that move 12 and fly, and they can move, shoot, move. So it's really just gonna jam you up and score primary and deny primary really well. And then once those waves are gone, you're going to have a bunch of Rhinos just denying primary. So I really think this list is to force draws really well
Right.
into bad matchups, particularly T-Suns, because T-Suns don't really have a lot of access to fall back and shoot. You're going to see it, I think, a little bit in Knights,
I was gonna say
because
same-
Knights
same
don't quite have a lot of volume to chew through all those 2-up armor save bodies.
Which detachment is he playing?
This
say, probably
is going to
Warpbane?
be Warpbane.
Yeah.
That's the shenanigans one.
There's
So
access to a
rerolls.
6-inch deep strike with charge, and some reroll wounds from purifiers, as well as some mortal wounds and reroll hits.
So I have a fun fact for you. So aside from Imperial agents, Grey Knights is actually the least brought faction in all of WTC.
Wasn't Tau less brought than that?
No, Tau had 4. Grey Knights had 3. The difference is everybody that brought Tau was from the lowest seed. Okay. And then the people that bought Grey Knights, so there's like seeds 1 through 4, based on where they finished last year. Seed 1's the highest, obviously. Seeds 2, 3, and 4 each had a Grey Knights player.
Interesting. So nothing in seed 1.
Yeah, and I don't think your traditional Grey Knights lists are very good in WTC just because it's very easy in WTC to take up space on the board without showing units. So that's generally how you play against Grey Knights. You take as much space up on the board, and if those units can just not be shot at, the Grey Knight player doesn't really have the ability to take board space away, and suddenly they're deep strike rule. Just
all the mobility you have is just gone.
Just gone.
Yeah.
And talking about WTC terrain, there's quite a few tables actually where pieces of terrain touch right up to the edge of the wall.
Oh, that's right.
So you can you can cover every angle and really block out. You can get deep.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Div.
Yes, and this list doesn't care about your uppy downy very much. It just cares about jamming you up and going fast. And
I was going to ask, did you say there's 3 units of servitors in that list?
Yes.
Is this because I think I've seen this tech before in Warpbane, that because the servitors have a number of meltas, they have a bunch of meltas,
They have
right?
a bunch of multi-meltas.
Multi-meltas, right.
Each one has 2 multi-meltas. So it's 4 multi-melta shots that just get reroll hits for 50 points each. They hit
and
on
you
5s,
can bring them in
but
within
they reroll
melta
hits.
range. Can you not?
I don't believe they get true deep strike,
maybe,
but they would
not.
be coming out of a
rhino,
Razorback, and if the Razorback shoots something that and they disembark from it, reroll wounds. So they get reroll hits and wounds with.
So efficient.
So it's an interesting little, like, if you have a vehicle you need to deal with, because it's all strength 6.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right. So the rerolls is huge.
Yeah. So it's just fun little unique list, and I think it's pretty decent for teams.
That's sweet. Yeah. Like you said, just a bunch of bodies targeting those knights plus anything that can't fall back and shoot and charge. Like you said, that's perfect. Exactly what we want them.
That's fairly abundant in the meta right now.
Yeah, for sure. Especially Death Guard. Maybe you don't want Death Guard. Death Guard can probably put that down pretty hard, but Death Guard doesn't have fallback shoot and charge, does it? In Vectorum?
No, Death Guard just kind of picks you up.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they don't really need it. They have enough units that they don't need it. Right?
I don't think this is particularly good into Death Guard. This is great into, I think it's good into Guard, Drakari, which is fairly popular in the WTC meta right now.
Drakari is?
Yeah.
There's 7 appearances.
That's not bad.
Yep. T-Suns in particular as well.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. So we got a Grey Knights list. Fraser, what you got for first list?
My first one's a World Leader list, and there are a few good World Leader lists, like France, who won last year, has a list with like 80 Berserkers. There's a few very Berserker heavy list, which is unfortunate because if they do well, then I'm not going to get point drops on my Berserkers, which I deserve.
France is really well known for bringing so many guys type style lists. This year they have a guard list that's recon element. It's 160 guardsmen,
that list is bonkers,
80, and then last year famously they had the Black Templars spam.
Yeah.
France is definitely one to watch for sure.
Yeah. This list is from Anthony Vanilla, Team USA, and I thought it was. It's not something you'd really bring to singles, but I thought it was interesting to see Angron.
Oh, that is interesting.
Back in a WTC style list. Shoot. So he basically is bringing a World Leader list that it's competent into most armies, because personally I think World Leaders now, if you know how to play World Leaders in general, World Leaders now are just criminally underrated.
I agree. I
but he brought a list that can just basically flip knights on its head if it needs to. So it is Angron, Karn, Mo with the glaive, no Slaughterbound, so he's not wasting any points on Slaughterbound at all. 2 squads of 10 Berserkers, 2 Rhinos, 3 Spawn, because Spawn are unbelievable, 2 Berserkers, Jackals, and 2 Maulerfiends. So no A-bound whatsoever, no Slaughterbound, just 2 Maulers, 2 Forges, the Spawn because they're unreal, 2 big squads of Berserkers, which will do a lot of work on big knights, and then the big man Angron himself.
Interesting. Aren't Exalted 8-bound particularly good into knights?
No, because they don't have a lot of attacks.
So it's anti-vehicle 4 up, 3 up,
3 up,
3 up, but just not
3
enough
up.
attacks.
They have less attacks, so they're at 5 attacks each right now,
Right.
on the charge, which is good. But when you think about it, like their aura is you have to take a leadership test, like if you want to like fall back.
Right.
No, it's a desperate escape.
Yeah.
It's a desperate
It
escape.
never comes up.
Yeah, and then because you re-roll a desperate escape, so it's just like not as good as
You
it
can,
used
that's
to be.
That's true.
And regular 8-bound just have more attacks. They have scout, and all your war dogs went down to
Yeah,
T9.
T9,
So if you want to throw a little small knights in there, then generally regular 8-bound or the Forge Fiends will just absolutely
Gotcha.
not even sweat, just tear through like 12 war dogs because of the strength difference now. Generally, the only reason why you'd bring Exalted is just because of giving Deep Strike to the Berserker Glaive on the Slaughterbound. But here
Gotcha.
you put the Berserker Glaive on the Mo, because then you have a squad of 10 Berserkers to be able to soak up like fights first or whatever you need to. And usually the Mo will get a couple activations out of it.
Right.
Whereas the Slaughterbound will just get one, and the Mo gets full rerolls into like characters.
Yeah.
So
And he's kind of nested in there more safe, right?
Team
Yeah.
USA will definitely be kind of keeping him in their back, like during the pairings process. We'll definitely keep him in their back pocket. We call him like a pairings princess. You just keep lining him up for those big wins. That's basically what he's going to do all tournament.
That's a good point. Actually, yeah, that's a really good insight on like what role. So obviously, like, we had like Blunter from the Grey Knights list. This is like what we call an attacker.
Well,
like,
yeah.
what is this? Is there a
There's
terminology
kind
for
of
this?
like there's attackers, which are kind of generally they have several good matchups. Where these pairing princesses are like, I have 2 very specific matchups.
And if you give them to me, I will give you 20.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that's the nice thing about like, well, because I'm playing a lot of Emperor's Children. Emperor's Children is more of like a deny army. Actually, I have beaten 2 Knights list by more than 50, so it's been discussed. Sorry, but like in general, Emperor's
play
Children
Knights?
feels like a little more of like a deny army, just with a lot of the strats. It's very defensive, and it's something you can kind of put down and be safe into most things. But World Leaders is like, you give me a matchup that's slightly favorable, and I'll turn it into like an 18+.
Yeah, just crack it open.
Like,
yeah.
like absolutely just like knock it into outer space. Kind
And
of.
then also we kind of talked, like we said, like, oh, it's weird that he's not bringing these 2 kind of key units that world leaders, like, it's also should be said that these WTC teams, people stress test. Like he's probably 200 games deep of just practice games.
Yeah.
Figuring out that, oh, I can get away without this. Because I've played this matchup so many times now that I know exactly what should happen.
Well, because 8-bound are great tech into anti-infantry, like absolutely unbelievable tech into heavy, because you have access to dev wounds against infantry, and World Leaders now like sustained, like they have a ton of attacks hitting on 2s.
Yeah.
But like if you don't have to worry about infantry, and you can just put 2 Maulers, Angron, and 2 huge Berserker squads with 21 OC each, they can each like peel open a big knight. It absolutely just like rips knights in half.
I think
Those maulers are messed up against anything.
I haven't
that's
seen a lot of them on the
vehicle.
tables, but if you're targeting knights, I guess it makes sense, right? They're strength 14, 15 on the charge or something like that.
So I think this WTC is also, because of like knights being so prevalent,
Yeah.
it's made this kind of like, think of it like a high jump. The bar is being set this high, and everyone has to find out, can you jump that bar
Yeah, for
right
sure.
Uh,
now? And that's
Because the knights are the best army. So a lot of the safe bets for a lot of teams has to bring, as we like talked about when we saw like how prevalent like knights were, like
Yeah.
both instances of knights.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, the World Leader's Mauler Fiend on the charge. First of all, he has the 2 Magma Cutter Melters, which are rapid fire.
Oh.
So he will have 6 shots of Melta, 2. And also on the charge, he'll have 9 attacks at strength 14,
Yeah.
D6 plus 1 damage. If you're damaged at all, then he's hitting on 2s. So he'll just tank you in the way in, hit on 2s with sustained. And it just like absolutely just like peels the head off Canis. It just serves it back to you.
Because that
Yeah.
AP
150 points.
4, 3 or something, whatever.
Yeah.
it
Just
is.
AP2, but you can bump it up to
Sure.
3.
Yeah, and they're the exact same points as 8-bound too. So generally, like if you looked at me and you're like, you don't have to play Death Guard, you don't have to play
Yeah.
any infantry armies, you just have to like peel knights in half. I would take Maulers instead of 8-bound. Yeah.
Right. And the knights' opponents, their job is to make sure that this list does not go into them. That's which, I mean,
yeah.
Basically,
There's almost like a game before the game.
right, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game with
There
the
will
game.
be a
You
game
can bring a
before the
counter, but I'm going to try and make you not get the counter into the thing. Yeah. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Sweet.
Yeah.
And that was from, you said that was from USA? That was
Anthony Vanella,
that was Mr.
who
Anthony
actually
himself.
made the OG 10th edition like bog standard world leader list.
He is
Like
very
he
well
like
known.
solved world leaders initially in 10th.
So you meta chased him.
I did end up bringing his list once to a tournament, yeah. But then I went to MSU 8-bound.
Hey, it takes
I-
a big man to admit.
Yeah.
Like when.
Yeah. Yeah. I carved my own path.
Yeah, how dare you?
Yeah. This guy's just out here only winning 30-man events, and he's talking to me like we're the
same. Sweet. I, of course, looked up the Imperial Knights. Speaking of the boogeymen of the event, I suppose, the Knights. First of all, a lot of samesies. Like I think we've kind of talked about it before we started filming, but there obviously is generally the good lists that you want to take. There's
Factions get solved.
Factions that get solved. There's, I mean, that list is not like a typical list. That's a good list.
If you played it with Knights, you would have probably one of the
you would
worst
just get
games
destroyed
of your life.
You just get run the fuck over.
I have
early
8
lunch.
units that can pick up a big Knight.
But
Have fun.
the point I was trying to make was a lot of the Knights lists are very much the same. Canis Rex is in literally every single list. That's not a surprise at all. And most of them are 2 or 3 Atropos and then fill in Armigers. Or some, honestly, a pretty small amount of allies.
Yeah.
They've kind of gone out of vogue just with Knights being priced so aggressively. They don't really need them anymore. The list I pulled is from one of our hometown boys, Mr. Jason Sparks from Team Canada.
Yep.
The list is very, very simple. You guys got so many units in your list. Here's the easy list. Canis, we've got a Knight Atropos with a banner. We've got 3 Knight Lancers and 1 Armiger Helverin. Very simple list, but
Sorry, you say that's 3 big Knights and an Armiger?
5 big Knights.
Sorry, 5 big Knights and an Armiger? Dude, how is that?
Isn't that
fit in
amazing?
Points.
Because a Knight Atropos is like 345 points. Like they're dirt cheap now. And the Lancer, I think, is the same price.
Doesn't it go up to like 28 wounds or something?
Yep. 29, I think, actually. And so for those who may not be familiar with Knights list, I can dig into it a little bit. There's not a lot to dig into. It's 5 Knights list, which if you're, again, this is a good teams list. If you go into a singles event with this, you're going to struggle because you're going to run into a list that either can, this is a stat check, right? You're going to find a list like Votann or some crazy World Eaters or whatever that can just check that stat and you have no chance at all.
But the general World Eater list can't deal with it.
Correct. So World Eaters are not maybe not a
And
great
you're winning
example.
a lot of events with 5 big Knights right now.
5 is maybe not, 5 in Imperial Knights isn't as doing good as Chaos Knights. But the difficult thing with 5 bigs is that this takes a person who knows Knights very well, because when you have literally 6 models on the board, your activations are supremely important. You have to be shooting and killing something and then charging and killing something. You have to be actioning with these 6 models and killing stuff at the same time. You thankfully, for those who may not be familiar with Knights in general, is Titanic characters can action while they're in engagement range, and they can also action and shoot. So that's how this works at all, right? The only weakness I'd see to this list is that this could be very susceptible to fixed. David's favorite thing.
Especially with challenger cards right now, where you,
especially with challenger.
Yes.
those for a few turns, you just don't kill anything, play it slow, and then jump, and you're getting those challenger cards for those few turns, and
That's
then,
right. 2 or 3.
and then all of a sudden your secondary score just appears.
Yes.
when
To
2
be
minutes
honest,
done.
the fixed feels really good, because if you're not giving up units for like a stupid like area denial and stuff, and you can use all your resources to just either like prevent movement or deal with Knights like when they come up and try to like play their turns, it feels like a very good game.
Yeah, 100%. It's fixed. Now, the problem with fixed assassinate and bring it down in this case, which that you do have to kill the Knights. So this list wants to go into something that cannot kill the Knights.
Yep.
If you can't kill these Knights, if you can't pick up at least 2 bigs a turn, then you're just getting steamrolled. Because the Lancers, for those who might not know, are the 4-up invuln always, including in combat. So you need to use rotate on them. You're not scared of getting them stuck in with melee units and stuff like that. This is an incredible list, and I'm very excited to see how it plays out for them. It is unique amongst the WTC lists. I saw quite a few lists with a Lancer. I don't think there's any with 2, and we're running 3 here. So it'll be very interesting to see. It will take, again, this is a good teams list. This will take kind of a very specific pairings for this to shine. But of course, this will hurt.
That's the most stat check that's ever
Stat checked.
Honestly, I can't
100%
think of
agree.
it more.
Great unclean ones.
Sure.
Yeah, great unclean ones. Oh,
I don't know.
we are sick of great unclean ones in this town.
Get the hell out of here with great unclean ones.
Jake, shots fired directly at Jake.
So whoever wrote that,
Jake, if
data
you're
sheet,
listening, quit bringing them.
it's gonna bring 3 maulers. For
But
the rest of our
even
World Eater gear.
in a list like Jake's list, he was running. It was 2 great unclean ones, Rodigus, and that's it. That was it for bigs. No, he had a Bloodthirster or something like that. I can't remember the exact list, but this is way stat checkier than that. This is like insane. Everything's T11, which is not,
T13.
T13.
See, that's
Yeah,
right.
but
So
he's only got 3 of
but he's
them.
only got 3 versus 5 of them. 5 of them at T11.
And they're 250 points.
That's true, because remember in our, like, whenever we play Votann versus, we've played that match quite a few times, I have that AP4, like, get to AP4 strat for my Berserkers, and all of a sudden that's just out the window.
That doesn't matter anymore.
Now we're just playing
Casino. That's the whole thing with playing Knights is if your opponent has a bunch of AP, especially in combat, you have to play so careful. So also noted the Atropos has a 5-up invuln always as well. Not as good as the 4-up, but if you're popping those AP3s and AP4s, those aren't things anymore. We don't have to worry about that. So very, very cool list. I'll be excited to see how it works. And of course, gotta root for the hometown boy. So we'll see how it goes. What you got on the plate there, Mr.
All
Adam?
right. I've got us. So this is a little outdated. So this is the Space Wolves from France, Olivier Weiss. He basically took WTC down last year. Like he won the singles, the War Masters, and then he led Team France to their win.
Right.
So he did that last year with Black Templars.
Crazy.
Like that was a one of a kind list that no one had ever seen. And I don't think it ever really got popular outside of WTC because it's WTC also you get 4-hour rounds, so you get more time to move stuff. Yeah. And you can have like staff who help you move models, not on the table,
really?
but like can organize your stuff behind you. So it really takes that stress off you. And so this year he's kind of done something completely different. He's taking Space Wolves in Gladius.
Yeah.
And for anyone who doesn't know, Space Wolves Iron Priests give your vehicles rapid fire on all their guns. That has now changed to just one weapon.
Right.
So for this current event, he will have 3 Iron Priests that are just making it. Basically, like imagine you take a Predator and you just put another Predator on top of that Predator.
Yeah, that's right. For the cost of a little.
For the cost of 60 points.
Sure. So run us down the whole list real quick.
So he's got Ajax Rockfist, who lets a unit. He picks a unit and they can deep strike turn 1.
Beautiful.
So lets you get really aggressive with something that we'll talk about later. He's got his triple Iron Priest, a lieutenant with combi weapon. If you're familiar with Space Marines, that's just a really great loan up, reactive move, action doer, great model.
Good at everything.
70 points, great. Logan Grimnar, beat stick, probably. Ragnar, Black Maiden, beat stick, probably.
Why didn't you tell us Logan Grimnar's data sheet?
Couldn't tell you.
let him finish. It's gonna
check the link.
yeah, Logan Grimnar, an animated video of Logan Grimnar is going to be right
flying
above
across on a sled.
So another thing that's why this is so interesting is Space Wolves have been locked to the what do we call them, like
Space
jealousy
Marine.
boxes, where if you don't get that box on week 1, it's just gone forever.
Oh, right.
So we haven't actually had their codex
You're good.
codex
Clip that.
in the
That's a 30
wild,
second
right?
clip
Like,
right there.
this is strictly been testing in like these back rooms of like finding out what's good.
Yeah.
Some French dungeon.
Some French dungeon testing this out. He's got a unit of 20 Blood Claws.
Okay.
A unit of Intercessors for Sticky. 2 Ballistic Dreadnoughts. An Incursor Squad. 3 Predator Annihilators. And a 10-man Terminator Squad. So
Okay, sweet. So two Annihilators.
it feels sort of light on the table, but this is very similar. You're going to be shooting the crap out of Knights. You've got, like I said, those Iron Priests giving your Predator Annihilators rapid fire on all the weapons, essentially doubles their shots.
Did you say he has 3 Rune Priests and 2 Predators though?
3 Predators.
3 Predators. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
3
misheard.
Predators.
Okay, got it. So 3 and 3. Everybody's got a buddy.
Yeah.
And effectively just doubles the efficiency of the.
Yeah,
Predator.
you get 2 Hunter Killer Missiles.
Yeah, that's
You get a
right.
second Hunter Killer
gets
for 60
rapid fire.
points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof, gosh.
And then Gladius is just Warhammer 40k,
Everything.
the rules, the detachment. So you got access to everything you need whenever you need it.
I think a lot of WTCs kind of pivoted to, we know that big stuff is really good right now. So we're gonna put maybe 2 lists in like in our teams that are like can't really deal with big stuff, and every other faction in there is gonna have a list that if it needs to blow up Knights, it's not a bad game.
Yeah, because this list will still just blow up other stuff.
Sure.
Right? Like think of your Death Guard vehicle heavy list. This will still just prey on that.
I was gonna say in
All
like
the
the role that this fits into a team. This is kind of an all around. Like this isn't like you could put this into most anything
so,
really.
Being able to turn 1 deep strike the Terminators lets you get really aggressive, and especially on some of those weird angles, you eat that space up really early. Some people probably can't chew through 20 Blood Claws right? It's almost like a horde. He's got 2 little hordes with a ton of anti-tank backing it up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's a lot of factions in the game where if you know a good faction specialist, you could look at them and say, okay, I need you to build a really good like general list.
Yeah.
But if you run into knights, I need that list to be able to blow up knights.
Yeah.
And it's feasible because that
100%.
So
200 or 300.
I don't
points-
think he's really here for what Space Wolves bring to the table, other than the rune priests
Right.
and like the special characters who might bring
He's
something.
not a
specific.
Space Wolves fan. I don't think we need to check his Space Wolves
Like
lore knowledge.
He's incredible at what he does and just plays what is good in the moment. There's nothing wrong with that. That's great. We just said he swept WTC last year.
He's probably got a really cool
man's a
trophy in that
savant.
we don't have.
I only play armies for the lore.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, we all know that.
Yeah. So yeah, interesting.
Name
list.
3 World Eaters characters.
Karn.
Yep, good one. Not Angron.
Angron.
Nope.
What do you mean?
Okay, one more.
Master of Execution named Bob. Lord of Mechanicus.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, is that
nice.
his
Yeah,
actual name?
You got all 3.
Yeah.
I thought that was like a title.
Yeah, those
Lord
are like
Avocado.
the 3 named
Lord Avocado.
characters.
Sorry, good. You passed the test. Good job, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, this sounds like just a good all-around list. Like, obviously, can nuke tanks. Do you think this? So, given that the Rune Priest got changed, this list probably doesn't exist anymore after that change.
It's
Maybe
still,
not. Maybe not 3 and 3. Maybe more like a 1 and 2
you
or
probably
something
change
like
some
that.
numbers around, but
Yeah.
I'm sure you can make something work for it. Yeah.
Still good.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. I like it.
Yep.
Dave, we're back. We're back around the hoop.
I got another.
You got another banger for us?
Not meta list for you here.
Refresh
So,
our palate. We've been tryhards over here. Refresh our palate, Dave.
Yeah, sure. This is an Ad Mech list from Lukas Golanka. Excuse my pronunciation, from Poland. So
Sounds
it's
good to me.
a first seed country.
Oh, this is first seed.
Yeah.
Oh, Poland.
So,
Yeah.
so he's running Ad Mech, the Rad Zone Corps. So this is one of the weird detachments that makes you take a battle shock test on every unit in your deployment zone every turn.
Yeah.
So, if you're going into Necrons, for example, they're all leadership stuff, and a lot of the army will be battle shocked every turn.
And you get the choice to either get battle shocked or take damage, right?
That's just on the start of the first battle.
Got it. Okay, gotcha.
So basically what the idea of this list is to draw your opponent out of their deployment zone and just start taking assets off the table, especially knights. So we start with Belisarius Call. He's just a force multiplier and a decent, cheap, tough character. 2 Manipuluses and a Techno-Archaeologist, which is a 12-inch no-go bubble. 2 units of Rangers, which are just battle line. They're giving a bubble, a buff to everything within 6 inches of them, likely an extra AP. We got 2 units of 2 las cannon chickens. We have a unit of 6 breachers, and that unit is very good. It gets in rapid fire, gets I want to say 24 shots, re-rolling hits, lethals at 8-2-3, anti-vehicle 4 up. So it will just delete a big knight.
Sorry, what unit was this?
Cataphront breachers.
Oh, the breachers.
Oh,
yeah,
the
the breachers are good. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're
Huh?
arc
I was
rifle.
like, what are you describing?
What did I say?
Oh, no, you probably didn't say it, but I kind of zoned out for a second. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, and they hit hard too. I want to say they're a bunch of strength 10, damage 3 attacks in melee. Not high volume, but it's they just pick up vehicles. Then we got some destroyers, Cataphront destroyers. They're somewhat similar. And then we have a unit of 10 Sky Stalkers, 5 Sky Stalkers, 10 sterilizers, 5 sterilizers, a unit of Sicarian infiltrators, which infiltrate, but they're probably one of the best infiltrating units in the game, and a Scorpius Disintegrator, which is just an anti-tank vehicle.
Yeah.
So the idea is your opponent brings everything out of their deployment zone, and the it's a lot of shooting, just starts getting angles on you and chipping you down over 5 turns. It's very good at playing the primary game as well. Everything's a lot of OC.
Right.
Everything's relatively tough. You have quite a bit of stealth in there. You have an aura that makes everything within 6 inches of your battle line -1 to hit. I know none of you know what Ad Mech does. Funnily enough, me and Fraser played.
There's 3 Ad Mech at the tournament, dude.
Yeah, I know.
One's
But,
in,
uh,
one's in,
How do you choose your
one's in
factions?
tier 1. That's
Yeah, I know.
impressive.
Poland won couple years ago.
I think Poland was the defending champions going into
Yeah.
last year, so they won
They know what they're doing.
2023. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's not a list you'll see a lot, especially in Ad Mech. This you'll never see this detachment in singles. I
played
think
against it
ever.
in singles one time.
Me and Fraser played a game, and I ran this detachment, and he was running his Harlequins. We ended up drawing that game.
He gave me a take back at the end.
That's nice. That's nice.
Because I spent a CP to Overwatch with Haywire Bikes, and he's like, "No, this is actually stupid." And I'm just like, "Oh yeah, fair enough."
Oh yeah, I'm dumb.
My bad.
So just so I
You're
understand
right.
how this detachment works, because I have played against it once in a tournament against Chris, he's a nice guy, and you said turn one you get to choose between taking a battle shock or taking damage, and then on subsequent turns, just everything in your deployment zone takes just battle shock.
Yeah, so I want to say on a 3-up at Battle Round 1, you choose if your unit takes D3 on a 3-up or a Battle Shock test, and on a 5-up you take D3.
Right,
So
yeah.
you can't just take Battle Shocks and have
Right.
no consequence.
The defender has
damage.
some agency, but yeah.
Yeah, and these stratagems are quite decent. There's like a reroll hit strat. There's forced battle shocks. It's a lot of just putting battle shocks on your opponent,
Right.
flipping primary. So this is going to be another one of those where you're forcing draws, but you could run away with it if your opponent shows too much or you
big-
spike damage.
Big
There's lots
upside
of-
potential where like all of a sudden like
Yeah.
a game that was looking like a 10-10 and 9-11 suddenly swaps like 13 and you come
Like
back
a bad game against Tyranids where you fail your Shadows in the Warp, and then the game just opens up.
Yeah.
Right. This could do that, it sounds like.
And the Cataphront Breacher Overwatch is nasty. It's 24 shots, rerolling
Right.
hits with lethal that are all damage 3, anti-vehicle 4-up. Like
Yeah.
it has straight up picked up
This
like
is-
Armigers and Overwatch.
It's just
I
like
believe it.
Tyranids with
100%.
fancy guns.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah, it does
A
seem
little
like that
bit,
way,
yeah.
yeah, right?
And then the Lascans all have sustained, so there's opportunities just like hot roll and make your opponent cry.
So this is a blunter of sorts. Like where do you put this into?
I think it's a blunter, but it could also push differential.
Yeah,
as well.
blunter with like upside.
Sure. Maybe like a kind of all around with
Yeah.
upside. Yeah.
This
blunter with
doesn't
upside,
want to
yeah.
go into a melee heavy list for sure. There's not a lot of
definitely
fallback.
Because breachers don't even have an invuln. The breachers are just like, do they have an invuln?
They have a once per game at the start of the phase you declare it,
That's what it
4-up invul.
Right. Yeah. Otherwise,
So-
they just kind of get melted.
They come out for a turn and then they die
Yeah.
usually.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. That's That's a very interesting list.
It's neat.
That's cool. And you got, like you said, Poland knows what they're doing. So they're not. They've tested this 200 times.
This is an Polish dungeon being tested.
France and
Lots
Poland
of
both
dungeons in
actually
Europe.
they actually have dungeons. They have castles
They're
and
making
dungeons.
use of those old
We don't have real
castles.
dungeons here. So someone's got to use the dungeons.
We're out on the rink.
No, we're in our igloo, huddle around.
Yeah.
All right, Fraser, what you got?
So, first of all, I'd like the record to show that there's like 8 people in Europe that have similar Eldar lists, but I can only pronounce like 2 of their names. So,
Did you pick your list by whether you can pronounce their names or not?
yeah. And this is like fringe.
Yeah.
Matthew John Core.
Nailed it.
Yeah, that sounds pretty like a pretty French
Exotic.
pronunciation. Yeah, there you go.
This is from Team France, you said?
The running theme is I keep picking lists that just like rip knights in half.
Sure. Yeah.
I think we all are.
You've been bad touched a couple times.
And in general, not by knights. by whoa, maybe. But generally, the core of these lists, regardless of whether they bring Aspect Host or War Host,
Yeah.
is Fuegan with 10 Fire Dragons in a Wave Serpent.
100%.
And the reason why they do that is in Aspect Host, they have a stratagem where if you're within 6 inches of the transport, you can just get back in after shooting.
So good.
And in War Host, they bring 2 squads of 10 Fire Dragons because they have Fire and Fade, which they will use to get back in, and a regular get back in strat. So you just have, in War Host, you have 2 squads of 10 Fire Dragons. One of them is Fuegan that'll just come out, even without Melter range, just blow up a knight with like full rerolls and just like hop back behind like WTC cover.
Bye.
Which is nice.
dumb.
That a knight then has to spend an activation cracking open and then kill
You have to get there,
Yeah.
crack it open, and then kill the stuff inside.
Yeah.
And that's not happening till
Well,
the end of turn 3,
especially
maybe.
if you're playing big knights, you just don't have the
You don't have it
activations
at all.
generally
Yeah.
to do that.
Do they have access to fall back and shoot if you do end up cracking the transport and touching them?
No.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think that's.
I don't think so. I know Harlequins do.
No,
but
they
I
don't.
don't think the other
Fuegan
ones
is
do.
like a 3 damage melee.
It's fire axe or whatever the fuck it is.
For some reason. But anyway, so this list by Matthew is Fuegan. So Jane Czar, who's going to go with the Banshee squad, and Jane Czar, I believe, rerolls wounds against characters. And she makes the Banshee squad auto advance 6, and they obviously have advance in charge.
Yep.
Lycus, which is really funny because Lycus makes everything that she shoots, then crit 5s against it, and Aspect Host has a sustained lethal stratagem.
Jesus, yeah.
So sustained lethal crit 5s on 30 Swooping Hawks, which have lethal inherently, which are in the list.
Yeah,
Which also have a built-in grenade strat.
Yep.
this list is not mad about playing Death Guard at all.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
interesting.
Eldar
Yeah.
right now. Eldar
Into Death Guard.
incredibly good into Death Guard.
Yeah.
Incredibly good into Knights. It's actually in like a phenomenal
A
spot.
Swooping Hawk unit just like blowing up Poxwalkers and then dropping their like eggs on the
Inserting their eggs
on the Terminators.
I never thought about it dropping the eggs. The flyover dropping eggs. Just pooping on them.
And then like you're not mad about shooting fire dragons into Terminators and stuff like that.
No,
Like,
definitely
They're
not.
just gonna hop back in the transport. And
Finish out the list.
Yeah.
first,
Anyway,
if you don't mind.
so 3 squads of Corsair Void Reavers, which are just battle line with good OC. Storm Guardians, which sticky the home objective, and later in the game, that's a crap ton of OC to bring up.
Yep.
5 Dark Reapers, the 10 Fire Dragons we mentioned, squad of Rangers who are the reactive move, and then 30 Swooping Hawks and only 10 Warp Spiders here, but a lot of lists have 15 Warp Spiders.
Sure. Just one big unit of 10?
No, two by
Got
5.
it. Yeah.
Because it's just like play the game. Oh,
Yep.
I drew behind enemy lines. I'm going to teleport 24 inches, and now
cool. I
I'm
moved
behind.
24
It's
inches.
like score your secondaries for free while you deal with like all the other problems on the board.
Yeah.
But access to Lycus doing the crit 5s. If I put Fuegan with Fire Dragons, not only is my Melter range become like 9 inches then,
Yep.
but I can put sustained lethal on the Fire Dragons
Jesus.
with the crit 5s. And then it's like you're picking up like a
Wait, that's
Titan.
Is that? I was gonna say, is that not a super overkill? That's super
100.
overkill.
Well, you have flipped to a 6. Too.
Sometimes in WTC though,
You have 2 flip to 6.
you want to make
it
those
right.
safe plays, right? Like you want to, like, I can guarantee
That's
it, no
true.
questions
That's
asked.
true.
That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have Melter range and you want to guarantee it, you go
but you have
for
the
it, right?
2 flip to a 6s, so your misses are suddenly turning into a lethal hit and a sustained as well, which has full rerolls on the wound roll because it's so people are bringing Fire Dragons right now in 10s. They're hopping back in, staying completely safe, and they're just like picking up squads of Death Shroud, picking up like big knights. Like it's a non-issue, and on the top of that, you're dealing with Rangers reactive moving, fights first Banshees,
Yeah, everything else playing the game.
and
Great.
like Swooping Hawks.
Did
which
you
are-
say he had Eldrad?
No,
Eldrad.
This is a aspect host list. Generally, Eldrad goes in the war host list because you're spending the 2 CP every turn for the 2 strats to get back in, and Eldrad just generates a CP.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
you want him there for their CP.
Yeah, but they don't bring those in the aspect list traditionally.
this
But
one's
I
not
think the
as-
war host like list with 20 Fire Dragons and 2 Wave Serpents, if you have a Knights player and you have to pair your Knights player to that, it's like immediate 20-0
Oh, dude,
life
yeah.
support.
I don't even know how you deal with that. You just don't. Just stay in your deployment zone.
Well,
Don't play the
you're-
game.
You spike 4-ups.
Yep.
When
So notably, the Lancer list is like the only Knights list that could maybe handle that.
And you have to spike 4.
And you have to spike force. I mean, like, I'm saying if there's a Knights
You
list
would
that
have to
could do it.
But-
Or it would. Here's a question. And it's not in the tournament right now, but Armiger spam list might be okay with that. Because you have to do a lot of split fire. You have to do like you don't have any like concentration of points like that, right?
I think
but-
it's still
but-
exceedingly bad.
It's still bad.
But the
obviously.
2x5 Fire Dragons, like splitting the squad and firing in 2 separate spaces and then still hopping back in, is like
Yeah.
inconsequential. And those Armigers, if they don't die immediately, then
Oh,
you
they're super
just
dead.
allocate like Swooping Hawk mortals and shoot where you need to.
Great
The Swooping
Lancers.
Hawks are very good.
And
actually.
importantly,
That's a good point.
Lycus, actually in melee,
It's really good.
basically what she does
She is good, right?
is she allows the Warp Spiders to charge after their flicker jump. So
That's
if,
right.
So if you have
That's
one
right.
of the Armigers tucked away all the way in the back, not only is Lycus doing crit 5s in melee, 'cause she's already shot you.
Sure, of course.
She is the Wave Render, which is lethal hits, 5 attacks, hitting on 2s, strength 6, AP 2, 2 damage.
She's just committing home invasion
it's like-
on your home objective.
But if
100%.
you use the lethal sustained on her to give that sustained as well, like it's just like basically like charging after the flicker jump is like her with the squad, on average, shooting a melee picks up like a war dog. So inserting that into like your opponent's back line on their home objective,
Crazy.
it's just it's incredibly annoying.
Yeah, I agree. I think actually in our last league, I think Simon did exactly that to me. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what is the role that this list takes in a team, an 8-man team?
Well, my last list was
This is obviously a Night Hunter.
My last list was bad for knights, but this is like you absolutely
Armageddon.
do not pair your knights into this, but
Right.
it's also incredibly
It
good
flexes,
into like Death Guard because the mobility.
Yes,
You
sure.
have 3
Okay.
squads of Swooping Hawks that move 14.
Yeah.
Potentially 16 with a token, and then like the teleporting like all over the place with like Warp Spider, like the scoring potential because it's Eldar, and then because you have all the small squads of 5 that are 10 OC, just like walking around and denying as well. It's actually there's a lot of arguments right now from good Eldar players saying that Eldar's probably the best army in the game, and Vic VJ just won like a 70-player singles event with basically this exact list.
No doubt. Okay, there you go.
So it's like,
Sweet.
It
okay.
sounds really fun too.
So
Yeah.
this does sound like a lot of
Yeah.
fun. So this would be a pairing, maybe a pairings princess, but less so than like the last. World
It's like
Leaders
if it
list.
gets a somewhat not great matchup,
Then it's okay.
It's
Not a
chilling.
biggie.
Yeah.
Cool.
Play a game.
Cool. I've got
Another Knights list.
for
This one
Chaos
also.
Knights.
This is four big Knights this time.
I should have done that for the memes, but I didn't. I have a Necrons list actually. So Necrons, as we know, very, very well represented at the event. Necrons have been good through the
And
entire
lots of good
edition, no matter what.
attachments.
Good choices. There's kind of like 2 good ones now at this point, but lots of good options. So
Yep.
I picked out from Australia, Matt Morrisoli, I believe the name would be
Solely,
pronounced.
yeah, he's been a part of that organization for so long.
Right.
He's like one of their top guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say a name I recognize for sure.
Yep.
He is playing in Awakened Dynasty. He is bringing a Catacomb Command Barge, a Chronomancer, Illuminor Xeris, and the next 2 are the reason I picked this because I love my destroyers. Everybody knows I love my destroyer cult. He's got 1 Destroyer Lord with the Veil of Darkness. He's got another Destroyer Lord, Locust Destroyer Lord. We've got Oroken, 2 Royal Wardens who will go into 2 units of Warriors, a Ghost Ark, 2 units of 3 Scarabs, 2 units of 2 Thralls for the Warrior units, 2 units of 5 Flayed Ones, and then 2 units of 6 Locust Destroyers.
Nice. That's cool.
So the Necron lists at this event are pretty. They fall into 2 camps. You've got your Star Shatter with the King, and you've got your Awakened Dynasty with the Warrior Blobs. There are wraiths in kind of both of these versions of the list to some degree. Some are running 3 wraith lists in Star Shatter just to be like the bricks on the objectives, and then when you come fight, kind of like what Aiden was saying on the last episode, once you come fight on the objectives, then Star Shatter kind of pops off and blows the crap out of you. I like this list a lot because it does lean into, which is super annoying for people to deal with, is it's not the full warrior cheese because he doesn't have a reanimator. So it's not like fully does have the Ghost Ark,
It
which
seems
is
like a really big part of the warrior.
The Ghost Ark kind of does this.
the Ghost Ark kind of does that. Now the reanimator gives you that extra D3 every time you're reanimating, but you don't usually need the whole package to like weather the storm, right?
And I think what's the points difference between a Ghost Ark and a Reanimator?
Just a question. I think a Reanimator is like in the 75 point range, where a Ghost Ark is in like the closer to 100 range. I don't know off the top of my head.
Because the one I could see, one of the other arguments is the Ghost Ark it's on that same Doomsday arc.
Yeah.
It's just long as hell.
Yeah.
Eats up a ton of like drop space and
Oh yeah, it just screens out well. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, you can have it in range of both warrior bricks.
It's probably a little bit tougher.
You could theoretically you could. I don't know if it only gets to activate once per turn. So it won't get activated into both of them, but you just put it in range of both, whichever one they go after, you activate into that one, right?
Yeah.
So this combines really tough warrior blobs, maybe not the toughest warrior blobs, but tough regardless, because it still has Oroken, still has the Royal Wardens in both of them, so they can fall back, shoot, and charge. So they don't just get stuck forever, which that's fine. Even if you get stuck as a Necron player, it's not the end of the world. You throw them up and get stuck. It's fine.
Yeah.
I really like the Locust tech. So the Locust Destroyers, for those who aren't familiar, a unit of 6, there'll be 3 shots each. It's strength 5, AP 2, flat 2 damage. They do have lethal built in. With the Locust Lord, they're lethaling on 5s, and they get access to rerolls basically on their sheet. It's a little bit of a hoop you have to jump through. If they're the closest target, if they're shooting the closest target, it's reroll 1s. If that closest target is that on objective, it's full rerolls. So they mince Marines, right? It's all flat 2 damage, just absolute Marine murder. But even into tougher targets. They have lethal on 5s with rerolls, so they're going to hand you, whatever. So there's 6, 12, 18 shots. They're going to hand you 10 saves at
They already
-2.
hit on 2s also.
And they're hitting on 2s because they're in Awakened being led by a character. And one of those units has a Veil of Darkness that gets to get picked up and dropped wherever you want in like the mid-game type situation.
With the actual Deep Strike.
With actual Deep Strike. Yeah, they get picked up. Exactly. They don't come in on board edge. They can show up wherever.
So I wonder if this list is preying on kind of all the people who are like lined, like my Space Wolf list I brought, that are lined up for Knights, and maybe they don't get that matchup, and then they fall down into this and they go, oh my god, I have no answer for this. And
I think that's exactly it. I think this is a good all-arounder, but yeah, it preys on any like medium to elite infantry just gets rinsed for sure. And anything that can't put, like, if you can't deal with the warrior unit, then you're kind of just screwed.
That happened to me in Edmonton.
Right, sure.
Yeah, I ran into a warrior list and it's like, I have no answer for this. This game's over.
Yeah, that happens in a lot of circumstances. Like, as a Knights player, that happens all the time. Like, the best you can hope for is to tie them up on like the middle objective at some point, and then fight around them the whole game.
If you don't have an army with the mobility to like kill everything else on the board except the warrior brick in some way to like keep it from moving, like you're actually just like, when I played Scotty at the Classic, thank God he did not have fall back in charge or fall back and like do anything.
That Royal Warden from that from the starter box.
Holy crap.
Yeah, they're good.
But
they're
yeah, no, I think that Awaken's definitely the right call, because if you just bring the Star Shadow list, then you're falling into the same category as people who can deal with Knights can also just like blow you up.
They're two very different lists, right? They fill two very different roles. This is very much a blunter, maybe a targeted pick into some lists, but I think this would be a blunter all day because you do only have
your champion, like that guy at the very end who kind of just never found a pairing.
Yeah,
got whoever fell through the cracks, and
this is a great fall through.
Yeah.
This is perfectly fine falling through into pretty much everything. Right, like I don't think it loves. I was about to say I don't think it loves that World Leaders list. That doesn't love T-Suns, but T-Suns and World Leaders are out there fighting stuff. They're not falling through anywhere. They're never falling through. They're going targeting and beating shit up, right? So
it's more of like your guard, your whatever.
Other Necrons for that matter, guard, some Space Marine stuff. Yeah, I think this is a good just all around list, and I wish Destroyers were better in the Destroyer detachment, but for now we're playing them in Awaken.
It's
so.
such
your book's good. Your book's good enough.
My book's good enough, but it doesn't have the one thing that I want, though.
It is such an annoying way to play 40k, because it's like, yeah, this blob actually can do like no damage, but it has more OC than like your entire army.
Correct.
So I'm just gonna like sit here
with
the whole
the Catacomb Command.
It's like, how do you have fun playing with this? It's like all Necron players just like hate themselves.
Yeah, the unit has 24 models in it, and the warriors are 3 OC each.
Because of the Catacomb
command. It's insane. It's bonkers. It's not, again, only one of them is going to have
72 OC.
Only one of them is going to have Orkin, so the one of them will be susceptible to a fair amount of AP, but you don't want to be throwing your high AP stuff in their warriors anyway.
Can you imagine playing against that with Knights?
I've done it, and it sucks. It's awful. I hate it.
Nothing worse. You draw like Area Denial, and there's like a bunch of warriors just
a warrior brick.
You're like both squads are
that if you do kill a bunch, they're going to reanimate anyway. He's just going to reanimate back into the spot.
Well, they just get extra movement when they reanimate.
Dude, that just rage baiting certain people. That would actually sounds like a lot of fun.
I hate Necrons.
Rage bait is very important.
I talk about it all the time. Necrons are just like my kryptonite. They deal with me.
I love it. Something that can wipe the warrior blob. What you got last?
We got the Shore Kings. We got Votann. I don't even have to pull my phone out because
he just knows it off the dome.
Off the dome.
All right, what you got?
So
for
this
Votann?
is Tim Schneider, Germany. He's the man who
has
launched Votann into popularity, and he ran the list.
He made everybody scared of Votann.
The list, yeah, sure. And so Votann are really great right now because they've always kind of been that kind of middle of the road. Kind of have their niche. They kind of just play well into everybody, and now the meta's kind of shifted in this weird way where they've lined up really nicely in everybody.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about Knights all podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Their toughness coming down has become a break point for a ton of Votann data sheets.
Yeah.
And so the list it's one character, the Brokir Ironmaster. He comes with a Praising Glare. It kind of lets you spit out some more judgment tokens. He's got one set of warriors, 3 Sagittars, 2 units of 6 bikes, 2 land forts, 2 10-man berserkers, which are your melee, and a unit of Jaegers for infiltrating.
This is just like the Votann good stuff.
Votann good stuff. Yep.
Yeah. He's just like the list for Votann right now.
This is pretty much. And that's right. He's also got 2 units of 3 of the Grav Gun Thunderkin.
Sure.
Yeah. So I actually ran virtually this exact same list in Winnipeg where we went.
I was gonna say this sounds like a singles list.
The only difference was I had my 2-3 like the 2-3-man Thunderkins combined, and I swapped one Sagittar for more warriors. So the call there was that you get one more set of like last cannon shots, the casino cannon shots,
right?
And then you get a few more activations out of. I don't like the math on those 3-mans. It's really dicey on shooting like an Armiger.
Right, sure.
And their profile is perfect for anti-mech. It's strength 5, AP 2 damage with tokens. That's great.
Well, if you think about it, I feel like it's kind of a way to have redundancy in the list. It's less for them to do their own thing and more to have them like in a good spot on the board where, like, let's say the math like goes down slightly and you've a knight left on like 6 wounds. Like it just kind of helps push it over the edge.
Yeah, and then in the pairings process, Votann very much like this. It's good into everybody. Doesn't matter what many matchups. Will always go get its points. So you don't have to think about it too hard in pairings. It kind of will end up where it needs to be and lets you pairing princess your other more important list.
Generally, any army you see where the singles list looks almost identical to the list they submit for like 8-man teams is like a phenomenal list to have in teams because you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. It can go anywhere. It can if you're trying to do like, I guess if you're trying to do a pin, you want to have like your big hitters going into a pin, so you don't want to pin with Votann, but like they can be, they can be a follow through. They're happy everywhere.
Well, if you think about it, knights aren't going to want to play into Votann right now.
No.
So then you have your specific anti-knight list waiting later on in the pairings, and you can actually like defend quite
that's a good
handily
point.
with Votann.
An early defender
that's a good point.
Starts pushes the knights further down into your
That's right.
Yeah, because so like I said, going down from the Armiger's going from T10 down to T9 puts your land fort main gun to winning on 2s with tokens. Yeah. It puts your hammers on the berserkers to winning on 4 or 3s in combat with tokens. Yep. Like it's functionally +1 to wound in 2-3 places.
How many Votann are in the event?
16.
There's a ton. Hey,
to be honest, one of the interesting parts about Votann is there are 16 people bringing them, and 6 of them are seed ones.
There you go.
Yeah.
They see it, right? And you see it. Makes sense. Makes sense. Canada, you said, is bringing one.
Yep.
America, I think, is bringing one as well.
Don't think so.
No, did America didn't win? Okay. No. Just Canada. That's awesome.
America hates short people.
Yeah.
You're here to hear first.
And it'll be interesting because their list is pretty great right now. Like I said, it's good into everything, and then they've got new stuff that just got announced. So
right, you were gonna say what? I literally did not see any of the new Votann stuff. What's new for Votann?
They made tall short people.
There's a new vehicle.
So we got essentially 2 new vehicles, a dual kit, like a little transport. One's a transport option for the Jaegers, which actually lets you break up your infiltrating squads, which would be kind of interesting.
It's not a Sagittar. It's smaller than a Sagittar.
So yeah, it's more vehicles, so there might be a vehicle-heavy list in the future.
Interesting.
It sounds like they're changing the judgment system, which will be kind of interesting, because right now it does feel like your Votann army doesn't really work properly until you have judgment tokens.
100% true, yeah.
And then, so they're changing that up, which kind of may be nice, and maybe open up some new playstyles. They got these kind of weird robot tall Votann.
Space Marines.
I saw this picture. I was going to say, it's the only picture I did see. It just looks like Space Marines.
No idea what those will be like. We got an artillery piece, but it's like reverse artillery. It like shoots stuff underground.
It's a mole, it's the extra mole.
The mole launcher.
What's a giant mole called? I don't know.
A big mole.
A big mole. A were-mole.
What do you call a really big deer?
A moose.
That's still a deer.
Called a moose.
Still a deer, Ben.
And also with that transport, the alternate version is like a little gun truck, which could be kind of interesting.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And a bunch of characters, and they've actually they use the word lone operative, which Votann have not had access to.
Can I just say, for it being the year of chaos, you seem to have a lot more characters than the one that I got in my Chaos Army on my Codex release.
That's true, hey.
Take it up with Necron players. You not hear the Justice League of characters he announced?
Bro, we got no. We had a bunch of characters. We had characters deleted. All of our
you're
name
still in the hot seat, buddy. Don't try to flag the blame.
No. You guys are forgetting last year. We got all of our. Not even like how long ago was that now? Yeah, last year we had all of our name characters wiped.
They actually deleted one of his.
Drago.
Drago.
What's up with that? No
Drago's stuck in the warp right now.
That's crazy. Who's the other one got removed?
Stern.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
That's like the two guys.
Doesn't Stern have a new
2
model?
of the 3? No.
What?
They're for sure going to come out with a new model of Drago. Drago for sure, new model. Like what's it called? Primarch size.
They're saying end of 10th.
Because
end of 10th.
Because they released all the points and everything. And Drago
oh my god!
Just
Dude, and their combat patrol is
That's
atrocious.
Yeah,
those box jets So there's an
Yeah,
actual
seen it,
box dread in the combat patrol.
That's right.
But it's actually quite good. Rules-wise?
They're gonna be like legended in like 9 months.
because it's like the old dread, right? It's like a,
That's
Yeah,
a good
it's the
old,
old dread.
empty the warehouse strategy.
What if we just deleted all your named characters and you just had to take some like 3rd edition model, like Epidemius?
And let's give it good rules too. And
yeah. So
before
you
we delete
actually
it.
are going to take it.
Well, that's what they did. Is like I never
Maybe.
touched Demon Princes or Forge Fiends or Mauler Fiends, and then like all the Chaos releases come out, and I'm like,
All right.
so now I have like 5 Demon Princes at home. I've got 2 Forge Fiends I have to build, and I've built 2 Mauler Fiends. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was sorry. We could quickly.
Sorry.
No, you're good. We deviated into like new releases and stuff, but like
Stuff we're excited for.
like
Yeah.
that's cool. Like the Votann sounds like they're in a good spot. Cool new stuff that got announced. Was there anything else? It was Grey Knights. It was Votann.
Do you have any rules
Black
yet?
Templars.
Black Templars. That's what it
No,
was.
no rules.
Some really cool looking Black Templar models. Really, really hot looking models. Those are
Yeah.
neat. I don't know anything about the rules yet or anything like that.
Black Templar's in a good spot because Art of War told me, and I haven't read anything else. So watch out for Black Templars.
Watch out.
Grey Knights are in a bad spot because that's what Art of War said, but
Oh.
I don't agree with them. I think they look nice.
Yeah. As team captain, where you're not allowed to take Grey Knights to.
It's fine. I'm having fun with World Eaters right now.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
War leaders are actually really good in teams.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. I don't think it's that kind of covers our topic. If there's anything else you guys want to talk about WTC, here's a good question actually. Well, to kind of top us off, last year, like we said a couple times, France won. Olivier won the singles event, and then France, his team won the team event. Who do we think's taking it this year? Is there like as we're going through lists and stuff? Who's do you have a dark horse, or do we think it's just going to be like who's the big dogs that are on the plate for winning it? France, Poland,
USA.
England. Maybe that's like the big 4.
Maybe Australia is
Australia in the
could-
conversation. If there's a top 5, maybe that's it.
I think they just went through a little bit of restructuring. Like they have some new guys.
Cool.
A couple like they're not as veteran as usual, but
Do you think there's a favorite to win it all right now? Is it just France? Is it just like
it's probably France.
Yeah.
I think they're just.
To be honest, because Art of War has done like a lot of the coaching, and like that's a lot of the stuff you see. I'd like to see like USA take it.
of course.
Yeah.
Obviously, I want to see Canada do well. I think the goal for Canada is to move up to like maybe a seed 1 country.
Yeah,
next
for sure.
year.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I would like to see, USA do well.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. We're excited to watch Team Canada do better.
Like especially like once you travel a little bit and you go to like Edmonton and you meet like John Lennon, or
Yeah.
you go to Worlds and you meet like some of the European guys, but a lot of them's like you have games against like some of the Art of War guys and like Team USA guys, and you're like, yeah, like they're sweet dudes. Like I'd like to see them do
For
well.
sure. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
They've done so much for the Warhammer community.
Yeah.
100% true. On a personal level, you want to see that kind of activity and encouraged and celebrated, and yeah, that'd be sick. The U.S. would be awesome. Canada would be awesome. I think France is probably like I agree. France is probably like if you're a betting man, that's probably a good bet right now. They're strong. They're very strong.
There's an Instagram channel, completely unrelated.
Yes.
There's an Instagram channel I follow that's like, it was supposed to be a big map, and it's like, pick 1 country to remove each day, and we'll remove it. And for the last 16 days, it's been France in a row. They're like, we've already removed France. Stop picking France. All the comments are like, how about France? yeah. Sorry, nothing against France.
No, France does get their fair share. Hey, that's fine. It's
I
all good.
think,
In Warhammer, they're going to kick our butts, so it's all good.
Locally, we've got the Summer League just kicked off here.
Yes, Summer League's going good so far. Round 1 is in the books. I lost my first round, as is customary. I just get the first round out of the way.
Perfect.
David, you got to win.
Yeah, I got the World Eater mirror. Got it.
You got to win. Did you play yet?
I haven't played yet.
You haven't played yet.
No.
Adam got to win.
Mine's on Sunday.
Okay.
It's going to be really weird to have my name on a plaque like 10 times.
Just you want to just sweep the plaque, Fraser.
Do I get to keep it if that happens?
You do not get to keep it. It has to sit up in the bowling alley like all good plaques do.
No, it's I don't know. Me bringing my world leaders actually just felt like really unfair. Like I don't know how that army like loses right now, barring like
The wrong mission. on the
barring
screen.
Guo specifically. But like even
Jake Chalmers.
like the world leaders list I have now with like 1 or 2 Mauler Fiends sprinkled in. It's just like so good in single still, and it solves that problem completely. But it just felt because I still consider it like a fun league.
Yeah.
So it just felt really bad bringing it. So I thought I'd challenge myself with Emperor's Children. But
Oh, 100%.
now Emperor's Children's in that spot where like generally I actually feel better with Emperor's Children into a lot of things than I did with World Leaders. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah.
Yeah, we got some team tournaments coming up.
Team events
4
coming
main
up.
teams.
We got a 4-man teams locally. That's right, which is a couple weeks from now ish.
Yep.
And then we got a big event that we're all going to in Saskatoon.
The Western Canadian Team Championships,
Western
the
Canadian
WCTC.
That's right. That's right.
So,
Where these guys are all in a team, and I am not on the team. I'm on the other team.
This is our
He's on the
Great
B
Cup.
team.
B for Benjamin, obviously.
B for
B for Benjamin.
I don't know. It's a pretty stacked roster.
It's gonna be a good event. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Titans clashing.
It's gonna be fun.
And then
I've heard
we
there's.
haven't even considered like the Trident teams coming.
I was
over,
gonna say,
too.
isn't there 3 going?
We're just so like hyper fixated on each other's teams that it's like, yeah, we don't actually know who else.
Don't
is
worry about
pulling
everybody
the
else.
event.
I think, but Cass was telling me that there's 3 Trident teams.
They've locked in. They don't have the rosters up yet, but
Yeah.
Scotty, Kieran, and somebody else.
They're all,
have-
like,
have
heading a
secured,
team.
like Trident Obsidian, Trident Iron. And
That's
Trident
crazy.
Gold.
I would have thought they would like consolidate the power, but if you go,
They
if,
might.
if you got enough guys to go do 3, it'd be fun.
Well,
It'd be
you
a
can
good
still
time.
captain and start a team and go join a different.
That's
team.
true. That's
So-
true. Yeah, that's fair. We
So
don't actually know.
So
what
we
it looks
might
like.
still get like a true Trident A team.
If anybody from Edmonton Trident team is in watching the show, get in the comments and tell us exactly what you're doing. We would really
Tell us like your army
Just
comp.
post
yeah,
your
everything.
list.
Just post the
roughly
list,
what
everything.
you're
That'd be
playing
really
to.
helpful. We really appreciate it. Shout out to Trident up
Tell
in
us,
Edmonton.
tell us we're handsome.
Also, don't forget that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't forget that.
Sweet. I think that's probably a good place to cap off the episode.
Cool.
Thank you again, Mr. Adam, for joining us on the podcast.
for
Fantastic
having me.
insight.
Yep. I love
Adam,
coming
what's your favorite milkshake flavor?
The people need to know.
on. I don't drink milkshakes.
Oh.
I don't drink coffee. I'm
Shots
really lame.
fired.
I'm really boring. Sorry, guys.
What about ice cream flavor? Is
Ice cream flavor? Ooh, cookie dough. Come on now.
Okay, cool.
Okay, anyway, that's it.
You heard it here, folks. Adam's favorite. You heard it here, folks. Adam doesn't like milkshakes. David loves milkshakes. Fraser loves milkshakes.
Why do you say it like that?
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Don't forget, as always, to like, comment, subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you never miss an episode of Bloodbath Tactics.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.